Hey guys, today we're going to do some abs. You're going to need a yoga block, your trusty water glass, and an interval timer. I have mine set to 3 rounds of 45 seconds with 10 seconds in between. Any interval timer will do. So, round 1. The first exercise you're going to do is an elbow plank. Make sure to keep your shoulders engaged and your back rounded, and you're going to rock back and forth like so. Don't let your butt rise. Second exercise is going to be scissor switches with alternating arm, like so. And you're going to hold for 3 seconds in between. Be sure to count 1 Mississippi's. And of course, point your toes. Third exercise, rope pull-ups. So grab like you're pulling up a rope, grab, 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 and sliding down. Repeat. Try not to let your feet leave the floor as you're doing these. So that's round 1. Set your timer and let's go. So really concentrate on getting a full extension with the feet so you know that you're rocking back and forth as far as you can. And frequently check in with your plank to make sure your butt isn't rising into a down dog. Here's your 10-second break. Next is scissors. Remember to count 1, 2, 3 in between. And as always, keep your legs straight and your toes pointed. If you'd like to make this exercise easier, you can always choose not to float the bottom foot and just rest it on the ground. And as always, make sure that your low back is always touching the ground to make sure your core is engaged in hollow body. Next up is the rope pulls. Grab, 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 and slide. And that's it for round 1. The next round is for your hip flexors. Starts out in a plank. We're going to be doing plank jacks. So you'll just be jumping your feet on and off the mat, trying as much as possible not to let your body wiggle too much. If you need a modification, you can always go down to your elbows. Next is tabletop toe touches. This is a very difficult one, both for balance, coordination, and strength. You may find yourself wobbling quite a bit in these, but it's all about the challenge. Third exercise is butterfly toe taps. So keep the size and shape of your diamond and your low back on the ground at all times. Just coming up to the top, a light rock. Don't let yourself jiggle, and tapping the toes. So let's start. Plank jacks are up first. If you get tired, just come back into down dog or hold a plank. Don't come down if you can help it. Next is tabletop toe touches. Get ready to see me fall over. So remembering here to try and keep the hips lifted as you're doing the toe touches. You want to maintain that high, flat tabletop position as much as possible. And it's okay if you can't touch your toes here, just do your best. And last is the butterfly toe taps, remembering to keep the size and shape of your diamond. Light pulse at the top, don't let your hips slam to the ground, really control it. And as always, keep the low back on the ground when you touch the toes to the floor. And that's it for our hips round. The next round is all about obliques. First exercise is the banana crunch, lying on one side in a slight curve with bottom arm to support. Coming up on the hip, try to tap your elbow to your knee, but if you can't, that's okay. Make sure you're staying on your hip and not on your butt when you come up on the side. Keep the stretch and your strength in your oblique. And in between, we're going to do skiers. It's an elbow plank, rocking the hips side to side, and making sure not to let them come up too high on your plank in between. And for the last, just going to balance out our sides and do our other oblique crunch or banana crunch. Again, making sure to stay on the hip. I recommend you do your bad side first on these, just get it out of the way. And as usual, straight legs with pointed toes, because we are aerialists and we point our fucking toes. On to skiers. And again, if you get tired here, just hold the elbow plank. Try not to come down if you can. And lastly, our other side. Another modification here would be to keep the knees bent so the legs are in a tuck position. Might be good for some of you who have tight hamstrings. And if it hurts you to come up on that hip, feel free to put a pillow or roll up your yoga mat underneath for extra padding. And now we get a little break before we do it all again. Take some deep breaths, sip on your water, think about why you're doing this to yourself. And of course, feel free to pause the video if you need more time. All right, so now we're gonna do it all again. First round is the abs round, starting out with elbow plank forward rocks. Be sure to check in with your plank halfway through. Hips are tucked, back is flat, elbows engaged, shoulders rather, sorry. And now is our slow scissors, remembering to count to 3 in between. Check in with your body, make sure your low back is staying on the ground, legs straight, toes pointed. And our next exercise is the rope pulls. And now we're on to our round of hips. First exercise, our favorite, the plank jacks. Down dog if you need it. Almost there. Now for tabletop toe touches, aka the fallovers. Form is a lot more important than reps here, so don't think about going too fast. It's more about being correct. Last one is the diamond toe taps. And last but not least, our obliques round again. Start with your bad side. Now you shouldn't be leaning on the bottom arm too much for support. It's more there for balance. On to skiers. And now for our other side. And now take a break. Contemplate your life's choices. Why you're so mean to yourself. Don't forget to drink water. So, surprise, now you get a lightning round. You thought it was over, but it's not. First exercise are V-ups, one leg at a time. Several modifications here. You can do a regular V-up, a bent leg V-up, or a tuck. You can hold boat, or you can hold boat and extend one leg at a time. It's your choice. Second exercise with your block. Tucks to one side and then the other, also known as pivots. Pivot, pivot. And the third and final horrible exercise I'll give to you today are planks, tapping the knee to the arm. And for a modification, you can straighten the leg. It is truly murder on your obliques. Try it. All right, here we go. Last round, guys. You can do it. If you get tired here, just hold the boat or the V. Try not to come down if you can. And of course, point your fucking toes. Grab your block. All right, last exercise. Now you want to maintain the connection between the knee and the arm if possible, but of course, whatever level you're at is fine. as long as you point your toes. Be sure and do a check-in on the state of your plank. Make sure it's always solid. And you're finally done. A good child's pose stretch is wonderful here. And one of my favorites after abs is the reverse plank or tabletop plank. I don't prefer to do cobra poses after abs. I feel like it's too stretchy for how much you've just worked them. But if that's something you need, you can do it gently and then get up to admire your newly formed six-pack.